Hello friends, Koolio here, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're jumping back into DISLYTE to talk about their fusion mechanic. Now if you guys are enjoying these DISLYTE videos, which it seems like you are, because we've been growing pretty good and having some awesome view counts and everything, it's been awesome, so you guys have been so amazing. But if you guys are enjoying these DISLYTE videos and want to see more DISLYTE videos, then make sure to like button, as well as if you're new here to the channel, consider subscribing, because I'm going to be making a ton more DISLYTE videos as we get closer and closer to the global launch. So over the last couple days, I'd say about 2 days, I spent kind of grinding and preparing myself to do my very first ever Esper fusion. Now I'm not going to go into the relic fusion. I might do a video of that down the line on how to better fuse and use that and not waste any of your materials and stuff or your energy. But today we're going to be specifically talking about the Esper fusion and what I think my recommendation is on which players would want to actually do this, because these two Espers right here, Fabrice and Gabrielle, are both really fantastic Espers, like very good. Specifically, I'd say they're really powerful in PvP. The thing is with these two Espers is I would say that their gameplay styles is where you're really going to want to decide whether or not you want to invest a certain amount of resources in either going for the legendary Esper in Gabrielle, or if you're okay settling for the epic Esper, which is Fabrice. So the thing is how this works is, and I'm pretty sure they're probably going to come out with new Espers down the line, and this is going to be swapping out, I'm assuming maybe once every month and a half, maybe kind of like once every season or something. But anyway, so they're going to have one epic Esper that if you get the necessary materials in order to unlock them, then you'll use the epic Esper to unlock the legendary. Now the thing is it is easier to get epic Espers obviously through the summoning than is the legendary. And so if you're really wanting to like specifically grind for the legendary character for like a guaranteed legendary Esper in this game, then yeah, go ahead and, you know, grind for Gabrielle. I'd say where I am at the game right now, I think I'm like around like level 50 or something. It would probably take me about a week of grinding to be able to unlock Gabrielle. And I'll probably do that. I'll probably spend the next week making sure I'll be able to unlock her. Now for Fabrice here, it actually took me, I think, about 2 days of grinding in order to get the materials I needed. And I didn't even spend that much time doing it. It was fairly easy getting him, I say, at where I'm at right now. But here's the thing with Fabrice, or Fabrice. I don't know if I'm exactly saying it right. I'm going to just say Frere. I don't know. Anyways, he is a really powerful support-based Esper. So we're going to go through his abilities. His ultimate ability is Autumn Butterflies. Grants invincibility to a teammate for 1 turn and immunity to all allied Espers for 2 turns. Now, the one that I kind of want to focus on here with this ultimate ability, because Gabrielle also does something very similar, making it so that your teammates cannot be debuffed. Both of them on their ultimate ability have that immunity, making it so none of your other Espers can be debuffed. So you're going to want to build these characters with really high speed so they can go first and protect your entire team, specifically against any kind of PvP arena builds that are meant to debuff your characters. There are a couple out there that do things such as like action points down and stuff like that, and this would be a really great unit, be able to protect your units that way. But that's not the one that I'm actually going to focus on. So if you're going to be the kind of character or the kind of player that wants to kind of stick with Fabrice and you don't want to like go and try to go for the legendary, maybe you already have the legendary, is his secondary ability. Grants a teammate 100% action points as well as an attack up for 2 turns. This ability is ridiculous. Now, you do have to get it up to at least level 4 to grant the 100% action points, but let's go ahead and I'll give you guys an example of why I think this ability is very powerful. We'll actually go ahead and take a look at the team that I've got going on right now. And if you're the kind of player that's going to be focusing on PvP with trying to get your units to go as fast as possible, I think he's going to be absolutely amazing. So the way that my build's kind of going on right now is Claire right here. I like to activate her ultimate ability first. Basically boosts team-wide AP by 20% and recovers 28% max HP. Now I'm basically focusing on the action points by 20% because if she goes first, if I have her at the highest speed, then I activate her ultimate ability before anybody else. Basically every single other Esper on my team is going to go first than the enemy team because I've got that increased action points. It's very powerful. But let's just go ahead and take kind of like an instance, and this is something I'm actually going to do. I'm going to do my fusion today, and I'm going to level up that character and probably do a video breakdown in the future. Is I'm going to activate Hymn of Life. I'm going to boost team-wide AP by 20%. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have Mona go next. I'm going to try to increase her speed so that she will go next after Clara does. I'm going to have her go ahead and activate her ultimate ability. Attacks all enemies 4 times, doing a total equal to 115% of attack. Damage from this attack is increased by 30% upon a critical hit, okay? So we're going to go ahead and use that next, deal an insane amount of damage, and then I want Fabrice to go next. And I'm going to use his second ability to give Mona here 100% action points, allowing her to go again, and then have her use her secondary ability. Deals damage equal to 70% of attack to all enemies, restores HP by 30% of total damage, and absorbs 10% of action points from each enemy, basically continually slowing down the enemy team. And at that point, there's a good chance that Mona might be able to go again. It's ridiculous, it's crazy, and that kind of triple Esper combo I think is going to be huge. So I'm actually excited to kind of test it out. And so if you're the person that's got kind of a similar setup, that you've got a really strong, like another really strong Esper on your team that you can basically want them to go a second time, I think you're okay with just sticking with grinding and getting Fabrice here. Now, we're actually going to go ahead and talk about the legendary character next, Gabrielle. Now, the thing is, and I'm not going to show it to you, but if you actually go and take a look at her 3D model, I feel like they need to update it. I feel like it might have been one of the very first models they made in the game, because I feel like she could look a lot better. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Gabrielle here is a really, really powerful damage-based Esper, but she's also got some pretty interesting kind of debuffing and support. She's got a really interesting kit. So her ultimate ability blesses all allied Espers with immunity and defense up for 2 turns. That's a really powerful ability to go first. You're going to want to stack speed on her as much as you possibly can. Now, it also deals 105% of attack with an added attack down debuff for 2 turns. That's huge. You get this going off first, you're basically debuffing the enemies, knocking them down, buffing yourself up, and then making it impossible for your team to get debuffed. That's insane. It is such a powerful support-based ability on what is essentially like a really powerful attack-based character. Now, her second ability attacks all enemies 3 times, dealing a total damage equal to 80% of attack. Now, total damage for all 3 attacks, not each attack deals 80%. All 3 attacks added together will deal 80% of attack. Each hit has a 50% chance of inflicting defense down for 2 turns, which it doesn't stack on top of the other defense down, but I believe it might add more turns to it, so do keep that in mind. And then her basic ability deals damage to a target equal to 140% of attack, plus an additional 0.45% of attack per point of speed. So that alone, like there's honestly, like I've been kind of going through a lot of the Espers, and some of like the lower like ranks, like the rares and even the epics, there isn't really like the best like single target damaging. Like there are that have some like on their ultimate abilities, but this one I would say is probably one of the best basic attacks that I've seen on an Esper that just deals an insane amount of damage. Now, she does do a lot of support right when her ultimate activates and stuff like that, and then a couple of debuffs to the enemy. But I think a lot of the times you're gonna be able to kind of go through and deal quite a bit of damage using her basic attack. That 140% of attack plus the attack per point of speed, I think is kind of crazy. So her, along with Fabrice, I think is great, but you're gonna wanna use Fabrice to basically support her, if that makes a lot of sense. So for me personally though, I don't know if I'm, really gonna work super hard towards Gabrielle. I will over the next week. I'll spend some time going through, but I think what I might do is try to fuse another Fabrice to use on Gabrielle instead of the one I have now, because the combo that I want to do with Fabrice I think is a little bit better than what I could do with Gabrielle at this point. So we're going ahead and do this. So the way that the fusion works is you have one very specific unit that you have to use. For me, I think it's Bernice. So let's go ahead and use her. Confirm, yes. And then you have to pick one of each of the different types of the units. They do exclude shimmers. I mean, maybe in the future they might add a shimmer-based character that you have to use in a fusion. Now, the characters have to be at their max level for that specific Esper. This one is a 4-star epic, so all of your units that you're using need to be at 4 stars, and they have to be at max level, level 40, and they have to be ascended to Ascension 4. And I believe the Ascension 4 requires the level 40, so that's kind of where it comes into play. For the legendary one, they all have to be 5 stars. They have to be Ascension 5. And I believe to get to Ascension 5, you have to be level 50 anyway. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use him because I have like a billion of him anyway. Again, it didn't take me too long to actually get all these units to where I needed for the epic. It's going to take a lot longer to do the legendary. Like I said, probably about a week. So Espers used as material will be removed upon fusing. Fuse anyway. Let's do it. So here we go. My very first fusion, and I will do a video in the future, probably in the next couple of days actually, where I'm going to talk about him and let you guys know if my combo kind of works. So for Fabrice, Frere, I don't know how you say his name, but there you go. So I can continue to go through and fuse if I want on him to get, you know, additional copies of the character, power him up. And the thing is, I actually do like these fusion things. It's definitely not something that I feel like beginners are going to eventually be able to, you know, beginners can be able to do within their first like couple weeks. But for players that have played the game for maybe like a month or two, kind of get a little bit higher, it's going to be a lot easier to be able to unlock these, which I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with that. So there you guys go. That is my opinion on the fusion system. Go ahead and keep an eye on the channel because I will have a video coming out very, very soon where I'm going to go through Fabrice's, whatever, however you say his name, I'm going to go through and break down his abilities and stuff a little bit better than I did in this video, and whether or not the combos that I'm thinking of are actually, I'm actually able to pull off. So guys, thanks for watching. Again, if you guys enjoy this video, please leave a like. It helps out so much. And again, if you're new to the channel and want to see more DISLYTE videos, then make sure to subscribe. Well, friends, my name's Koolio, and I'll see you next time.